Nda and Sesane for the first time, so a very interesting lineup, a mix of 2023. There's perhaps a little bit of an imbalance in some of the very keen eye on the likes of Sesane and Nda to see how well they have recovered from their respect. Now we are underway here. Orlando Pirates getting us up and running, looking to become the first Carling.
They have a Peterson that can marshal the youngsters in the back four.
Well, back in 2023, Kune had two fairly experienced players in front of him, Raman Pahlele and Jabula Ngobo. That's the two subsequent editions, including this one. It's been young players in the back line. Last season, Bukazi and McCarthy. And if you think about what launchpad, Vilakazi would be a great example. He scored in 2023 as he puts this one in. Has always had such terrific set-piece ability as Fundo Vilakazi.
One thing I can tell you, Grant, with Fundo Vilakazi is when he was spotted by Durban holding the ball, there's the set piece we're talking about, putting it to the back post. Then Buthelezi had to make sure that he gets a connection to it, because at the far post, a brilliant run was made by one of the attackers of the All-Stars.
One goal in 6 months of DDC action, and then hit 13 in 3 after that brace for the All-Stars.
As early as the first minute, one thing we can pick up is that the All-Stars, they're looking to play that ball just behind the defense of Orlando Pirates, because they know Van Rooyen will be looking to attack most of the time, and this man in Londo will be the...
For Langa. He's lifted it into a fairly dangerous area with his head, but Shlongwane couldn't connect with that. He's impressed Mangoba Mwiti in the two training sessions that he's seen of young Shlongwane. He made specific mention of him this week.
Absolutely, and that is why
Butuma. Vilakazi somehow managed to hang on to the ball here quite excellently, and then goes down under the challenge of Makahleni Makaula and gets a free kick. Fairly similar distance to the free kick that he scored back in 2023, then as a DDC player for the All-Stars.
You see the experience of Magaola there. He knows that Vilakazi is going to be beaten with pace, so he just puts his body on Vilakazi's body just to bring him down. Professional foul, nothing malicious, just to break the attack play. And you look at the love between the two.
Almost showed it to Sales, and Shlongwane closing down Melusi Buthelezi. Shlongwane with that brace last year. He's the only player alongside Cassius Malula in the history of the Carling Cup, coming from a superb assist from Rele Mofokeng, who seems to be rediscovering his best form at just the right time, as offside called here against Shlongwane.
You mentioned in the coach Wadu, as we look at this, Sales again.
Salas, one touch, brilliantly done, and well, it's the man that you want to connect with the ball on the edge of the area, but he hasn't got it right this time around.
I'm enjoying this combination play here between Sales, Allende and Shlongwane. Look how he sets up the ball, but Shlongwane, how he can so confident to hold the ball in just in front of those two central defenders.
Now it's gone all the way through. Buthelezi will get there ahead of Shlongwane. There have been moments where it's been evident, lucky that these players don't play together regularly, but then there have been other instances where they've put together some really slick stuff.
And you know, we look at the bench. Who's on the bench?
Yes, Allende gets it, clips it forward, looking for Sales. It's not the most convincing clearance from Elisa and Sales has won it in the air. Now, will that be a penalty? Referee says no. No card this time for simulation, as was the case 22 minutes in with Fundo Vilakazi. Oh,
left hand.
Man.
Left hand on the chest of Hlongwane, then getting away with this one because he pulled Hlongwane back. If he didn't have that left hand on him, Hlongwane was straight to goal. That's why you see the frustration. But once again, the referee didn't get it right. But it's because of the view that he had.
Now Masangani. Katuma racing afterwards, and Peterson gets there first. In your shots, Ponkosi Onto. And Robin Mwiti is up off the bench. He did say that he will involve the champion coach as much as possible in the decision-making processes over the course of this game, and he's allowed him to have his input during the training session. Coach Tonton, 31-year-old, who hails from Singa right here at KZN. So to KZN boys offensively, looking to get the better of him here, and Dion Hotto has done tremendously well with an extravagant piece of skill. Still alive for Pirates eventually.
There we go. Look at the experience. Look at the captain. And that's what he does very well. And you know, he just puts his left hand to block Marco so he can give himself room to bring that cross in. Radiopan colliding with Kabinde, and he gets up quickly to make that ball, the block just go through.
Quality to the park. Will Santos.
He's done well, Vilakazi. I mean, the first 45, everything was going through him on that right-hand side. The combination play, finding Sales and Hlongwane. And you see how the coach is happy with him. He's giving it his all. And, you know, that...
Santos strikes, takes a deflection, and over the top. Dushabalala latching onto that one.
Told you about Santos. He was going direct, the wall doing its job, but look who pounces from the ricochet of the ball. Mdu Shabalala. That's one player we have in South Africa that knows how to calculate his area and positioning himself in the box. That's Shabalala for you.
Otto into space. That's a good ball from Otto. Oh! The opener has come in stunning fashion from Lutuli. Magical moment for the Carling Knockout Kings. A week after lifting that trophy, they've taken a step towards another.
I've always said, Grant, a game can be won from the bench, and that's what we're witnessing with this Orlando Pirates team. They have introduced Lutuli, and this was the first touch of the ball from him. You look how he bends his run, but good distribution from Telezi, finding Hotto. Hotto's always be playing those balls, looking for the runs behind the defenders. Look at Lutuli, how he gets to the ball, and he can notice that Mokoena has left his lines. He just loops it over Mokoena, but what a brilliant run. You know, he just ran off the shoulders of the last defenders, freed himself, got to that ball with his lanky feet. He just strided, and then he put it just over Mukwena's head. Mukwena just feel that he just should have kept his line, not go out early, because he sold himself there. He was in no man's land. That's where Lutuli just easy tap in, but for him the confidence to just tap it over, and the dance. Auswege. Absolutely. Sometimes the injury, Grant, can set you back, but it's the mental strength to recover from the injury and go to a default setting.
Oh, Rarapani has always had so much strength. Drives forward and scores brilliantly. Oh. Deposits that in the bottom corner. Expert finish from Boitumelo Radiapane.
One thing I can tell you, You mentioned it yourself right now. You said the strength that Radio Pani has to go past players and block the players. We've seen it in the DDC. He was loaned out at Cape Town Spurs. He was doing the same thing. He fell, you said injury, and then you look at the defeated face of Bennett Mukwena. That's because Bennett Mukwena and Radio Pani comes from the Val. Look how he just goes past Nkabinde. Kabinde should have just closed him down. The strength that he goes past the players, Langa first, and then just puts it past and keeps it hard and low to the furthest corner, and Mukwena is beating. Look at Kabinde let himself down. He should have made a tackle to try block that ball. But Radio Pani, he's the prolific striker you want. You know, he reminds me of the likes of Romario from Brazil back in the days.
And he had a choice to make to go on the outside of Kabinde and close his angle, but he backed himself to finish in the manner that he has. And my word, and toss did fire it forward for Bennett Mukwena. Now here come Orlando Pirates once again. Dion Hotto picking a good pass for Latuli.